this. I expected nothing less from my champion. Good job cleaning the swamp of those disgusting insects.
How did you create a mutation like this? Is Alva's blood really enough for something like that?
Well, the blood of a vampire can be used for many things. But you should remember that I purged that curse from her body, so her blood is different. Experiments with it could lead to these kinds of results.
Well, as your champion, I suppose I must live up to your expectations. I hope my work has left you satisfied.
Of course you meet my expectations, dear. If that weren't the case, I wouldn't have made you my champion.
I suppose even though I'm your champion, I still have the right to earn caps for my work, right?
Of course, dear. Now more than ever, I can't let my champion go around in rags. Here is your reward.
So now we have to deal with the super mutants?
That's right, my dear champion. Now is the time to take down those disgusting green creatures.
Excuse me, Lady DeBella, but we can't move on to the super mutants just yet. There's an issue I need to discuss with your champion first.
A setback? What kind of setback are we talking about?
The corpses and the putrid stench of the insects have attracted some undesirable creatures, mostly dogs and zombies. I request your permission to send your champion to eliminate those pests.
I see. Well, I suppose those green-skinned brutes will live a bit longer than expected. All right, you have my permission to use my champion.
Thank you, Lady DeBella. We'll get to work on this matter immediately. All right, I suppose you heard what you need to do. Do you have any questions about this?
I'd say no. It sounds pretty straightforward. Killing a bunch of ghouls and wild dogs. Just another day in the Commonwealth.
Wait a second. Our dear hunter is forgetting something important. The creatures you'll have to kill have been eating the remains of the corpses. It's very likely that they have the same mutation as the insects.
The same mutations? Just by eating the corpses, they can acquire the mutation?
That's right. Alva's blood makes these mutations almost like a virus. They're quite easy to spread. And that's not all. Some of the previous mutations were used as a base for this new mutation. Some creatures might exhibit earlier mutations, like accelerated regeneration or invisibility.
This keeps sounding worse. Are there any other surprises?
I'd say no. That's all I have to say. After all, you are DeBella's champion, so you shouldn't have any problems, right?
Of course, you won't have any problems with these creatures. It's no wonder you were chosen as a champion by our goddess. We have nothing more to add, so you'd better get ready to enter the swamp.
What other kinds of mutations has Helga been developing in this place?
Honestly, I haven't been paying attention to that. I've always liked letting my dear Helga surprise me.
May I ask why a swamp? Come on, there has to be a reason. I'm your champion, so I demand an explanation.
By the 9, you demand an explanation from me? You've made my day, dear. It's been centuries since anyone demanded anything from me. If you weren't my champion, I would have torn out your tongue and forced you to swallow it. But since it's you, I'll give you an explanation. You see, in Skyrim, near the City of Solitude, there is a swampy land with fascinating plants and creatures. I miss the feeling of walking through those lands, so I decided to create a temple here to bring my body a similar sensation.
All right, I have all the details I need. Do I have your permission to enter the swamp?
Of course, my dear champion. Go to the swamp and massacre all those horrendous creatures.
Now. It's okay. Would need the key. Hi.
Welcome back, my champion. Excellent work driving those horrendous creatures out of my swamp.
Do you think this will be enough? I've done my best to kill every creature that crossed my path.
I hope so. I have full confidence in my hunter and Helga. Besides, they are cooperating to finish my arena as quickly as possible.
The swamp should be completely clean now, just as you wanted, Lady DeBella.
Lady DeBella, you have no idea how much I love hearing you call me that. Tell me, wouldn't you prefer to call me my goddess?
My goddess. I don't know. I think you shouldn't get too excited over something like that.
As you wish, dear, but with this you've already taken the first step. You won't even realize when you fully accept me as your only goddess.
Why does your champion have a higher rank than a priestess or a hunter?
It's quite simple, really. Regardless of the great power my priestesses and hunters might have, there can be many of them in my temple. To become a priestess or hunter, they only need to desire it and show great devotion to me, and that's all. However, being devoted to me doesn't make them extraordinary. You, on the other, and it's because of...
But that doesn't make sense. You've said that your priestesses and hunters are incredibly powerful thanks to your blessing. If each of them can crush me without much effort, how am I supposed to lead them?
That's simple to answer, and because I have ordered them to. Every priestess and hunter in my service will always obey my commands blindly, and I have established that they must obey my champion in case I'm not present.
Anyway, before we continue with this, I want my caps.
Usually being in my presence should be payment enough for my champion, but I still see the greed in your eyes. Here are your caps.
So are we finally going to hunt the super mutants this time?
That's the plan, my dear champion. Those horrid green creatures are already starting to bother me with their presence. So, my dear Master Gunsmith, are we ready to drive those creatures out of my swamp?
Of course, Lady DeBella. Now that the scavenging creatures have been eliminated, we can ask Amoli to teleport the nearby super mutants to the arena. Do we have your permission to begin the carnage?
Of course, my dear hunter. Feel free to use my champion to exterminate those green animals.
All right, champion, we're ready to start cleaning up the swamp.
So what do I need to do now? Do I just go to the swamp and kill all the super mutants that Amoli sends in there?
That's right. But there are a few things to keep in mind. Due to the setbacks we had earlier, a large number of super mutants have gathered outside the swamp. Amoli will use her teleporter to send all the super mutants into the swamp, so you should prepare for a long fight.
Understood. If they are like the ones in the Commonwealth, I suppose things should go well.
Hey, wait a second. There's something you should keep in mind before going in. Just like before, these super mutants have some of the mutations running through their blood.
What? How did that happen? Did they also eat the remains of the creatures we killed earlier?
No, this time it was different. The super mutants have a kind of mutated dog. It seems these animals are trained to hunt and bring their prey to their masters. A large number of the animals they hunted were the ones that fled from the arena. The bad news is that they ate the remains of those animals, but there's also good news. It seems only the regeneration mutation affected them. Their high radiation levels didn't allow the other mutations to develop.
I understand. That accelerated regeneration will be a real problem. Is there anything else I should know?
No, that's all I've been able to observe in their behavior. What about you, Hunter? Is there anything you're forgetting?
No. I've said everything I had to say. You'd better ask Lady DeBella for permission to start the cleanup.
All right, I suppose I have all the information I need now. What do you say, Lady DeBella? Do I have your permission to start the cleanup?
Of course, my dear champion. Seeing you with that level of confidence almost makes me want to join you in the arena. Anyway, Go and don't forget to have fun.